Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Student Loan Workshop Policy Updates webinar. A few housekeepings. This workshop is being recorded, so you will have access to it after. This is the agenda. I'm going to introduce myself, and then I have a bunch of slides on policy updates. I will go over some frequently asked questions and then next steps on how to get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Dylan, and I really appreciate your time in listening to this webinar. I am a customer success manager here at Savi, and I've been working for Savi for a little over 4 years. Meet Savi. So, here at Savi, you are our top priority. We're here to serve student loan borrowers, not the student loans. We have a bunch of insider information. We have over 2 decades of expertise. And actually, a lot of people that work for Savvy either have had or currently have student loans. So I definitely feel like that aspect allows us to know exactly what you're going through, which allows us to help you even more. Lastly, saving has never been easier. We help all of our users take advantage of the personalized repayment plans and forgiveness options that they qualify for. It definitely depends on your loan type. It depends on your income, your loan balance, your employment. All of those factors can determine whether you're eligible for loan forgiveness or not. So we definitely make sure to look at everyone's personal situation to guide them through the process of forgiveness to make sure they're making the best decision for their financial situation and goals. We are your student loan benefit. So we partner with a bunch of different employers and membership organizations to offer our services as a benefit. Like I said, I've been working for Savvy for a little over 4 years now, and it's been so exciting to see how much we've grown over time. Here on the right are a bunch of the larger companies that we work with, and as of now, we have over 400 companies in the Savvy community, and we're growing every day. So it's super exciting to see. Also, another great aspect of Savvy is that we're available to you and your family members. So if you do have any family member that has student loans or need help with their loans, maybe they're eligible for forgiveness or just need guidance on forgiveness, maybe need help understanding policy updates, anything having to do with student loans, they are also able to sign up and use our services. So now I'm going to get into the policy updates. Current state of IDR plans. So ED officially resumed processing IDR applications in May after being on pause for several months. It is important to note that only 3.84% of all IDR applications, excuse me, applications submitted in 2025 have been processed. So that leaves millions of applications that are still backlogged. So definitely if you have an IDR application that's still in processing, just know that it is normal. ED is still getting to a lot of people's applications. And just be prepared to wait a little bit longer than normal to receive results. So it's not abnormal that your servicer will pitch you in a 60-day processing forbearance. That time will allow them to process their your application, and during that time, no payment is due. The SAVE plan is still on hold. So borrowers previously enrolled in SAVE were placed into an admin forbearance, and during that time, no payments are due, no interest accumulates, and you will remain in the SAVE plan forbearance until litigation is resolved. We believe that the litigation will be resolved around September. That is just the information that's been put out. It could honestly be longer, but as of now, it's supposed to be September. And a reminder that save forbearances don't count for PSLF. So you may have the option to purchase retroactive credit for months in forbearance, specifically the save plan forbearance through the PSLF buyback. Or you can switch to a different repayment plan to begin making payments again now. So the other IDR plans that are available to enroll in are Pay, ICR, and IBR. Like I said before, just expect a little bit longer waiting time while enrolling in these plans. And this is something you could do directly from your Savi account. I do have a few executive order policy updates as well. So in March, President Trump signed an executive order to begin dismantling the Department of Education and shift key responsibilities to states. Just know that fully dismantling the Department of Education requires an act of Congress. Also, Secretary Linda McMahon is instructed to take every step within the law to begin dismantling the Department of Education while ensuring continued delivery of essential services. So that includes student loan management, PSLF forms, IDR applications, teacher loan forgiveness applications, etc. All that to say that just expect longer wait times and reduce system reliability. Even as these federal student loan programs remain in place, these changes have just caused quite a lot of backlog and have kind of just put applications on I don't want to say hold just because they are processing, but just the time frame is just longer than usual. Another executive order in March, President Trump signed one attempting to alter PSLF employer eligibility criteria. Linda McMahon has been tasked with drafting new regulations to redefine the definition of public service. So that is mainly to exclude organizations that are quote unquote aiding and abetting violations of immigration law, quote unquote supporting terrorism, contribution to gender affirming care, or engaging in a pattern of quote unquote violating state laws. All that to say, the eligibility terms for PSLF were set by Congress. So under the Constitution, they can only be changed through Congress, like through new laws, amendments. President Trump cannot alter the Education Department rules governing PSLF with just an executive order. So PSLF was actually written into law in 2007. So just know it's highly unlikely for anything to actually change just because we know the process of like changing a law or, removing a law is just such a lengthy process. Um, Congress weighs major reforms. Lawmakers in the House recently passed sweeping legislation, the Big Beautiful Bill that includes plans to overhaul major elements of the student loan repayment and forgiveness system as part of a broader effort to slash federal spending. Major elements of this bill include eliminating PSLF eligibility for medical and dental residents, repealing ICR pay and save, income-driven repayment plans, and creating a new IDR plan called their Payment Assistant Plan, or RAP. While the reforms proposed are massive in scope, the bill is not written into law and is not likely to change significantly as it heads to the Senate. So this means that your current repayment plan, forgiveness eligibility, and loan terms remain unchanged. I have some updates on impacts of late slash missed payments. Beginning in January of 2025, late and or missed payments can incur the following penalties: credit score impact. So even one missed payment can be reported to credit bureaus. Delinquency, that's what happens after three consecutive missed payments, and then default, which is defined as nine consecutive missed payments. So this may trigger collections activity or wage garnishment notifications, or loss of federal loan benefits. 38% of borrowers earn repayment and current on their student loans, which means the rest are not. Millions of Americans are seeing their credit scores drop because of missed student loan payments. More than 3.2 million student loan borrowers saw their credit scores drop by more than 100 points after being reported delinquent. Another 5.4 million Americans are currently on the brink of delinquency and are about to face the same credit consequences. So, all that to say, it's important to make sure your student loans are not at risk and they're in good standing. Even a single late or missed payment can be damaging to your credit. We provide you with the tools to prevent and protect your student loans from negative credit outcomes. Another reason to sign up with Savi. Collections resumed May 5th of 2025. The Department of Ed recently announced that collections on defaulted federal student loans will resume after being paused for more than 5 years. 5.4 million Americans are currently in default and subject to these collections. And also, the Department of Ed estimates 10 million borrowers will go into default in coming months. This is a serious change that will put millions of borrowers at risk of severe consequences, including wage garnishment, which is up to 15% withheld from every paycheck, tax refund withholding. So as of 6/3, which is yesterday, no longer withholding from Social Security payments. So you can expect over these new few weeks, over these next few weeks, ED will begin notifying borrowers impacted by these collections. Avoiding delinquency and default. Not sure where you stand. You can always see the current status of your student loans and your FSA account. So that's going to be at studentaid.gov, or you can always call your loan servicer. If you know you've fallen behind and your account is past due, there can be penalties. It's a good idea to definitely enroll in an IDR plan that can lower your monthly payments and help you return or stay in good standing. So this can be done directly from your Savi account, and everything will be done on your behalf. We will fill it out for you and submit it to your servicer so it can be processed. And that is going to be what comes with a paying membership. And I'll get into that later in this presentation. But you can access additional help and also one-on-one support from our student loan experts. So I have some FAQ now. Where can I check the status of my federal student loans? So I kind of went over this just now, but the easiest way is to check in is by logging into your federal student aid account at studentaid.gov. So you'll be able to see all your loans in the My Aid section, which is underneath My Info here. And then once you click that, you'll be able to see a breakdown of each of your loans and the current status of each of your loans. You'll also be able to see the loan status and the repayment plan. What are my options if I'm in default? So there are two programs to get out of default, and one is called loan rehab, and the other is called loan consolidation. So with loan rehab, basically you'll just pay a reasonable monthly payment for 9 months within a 10-month period. That value is agreed upon with you and your servicer. So I've helped so many people get out of default through this program. And basically, what will happen is your servicer will basically ask you how much money you bring in every month and all of your expenses. And I definitely encourage borrowers to let them know all expenses that you have. Even the little expenses can add up. So once they have that information, they'll basically just make sure that it is a reasonable monthly payment that you will have no problem paying for 9 months. Once you complete those 9 months of payments, your loans will then be considered in good standing. Your credit report will also be updated to remove this period of default. And if your wages are being garnished, completion of this program will remove you from garnishment. The second program is loan consolidation, and it's a much quicker process. It's just an application that you submit on Student Aid Gov. You will need to agree to pay your new consolidation loan under one of the IDR plans that you qualify for, and also the period of default will remain on your credit report. So, I definitely recommend joining Savi if you are in default so we can kind of talk you through each of these programs to figure out which is best for you in your current situation, um, and help you get your loans back in good standing. Can Savi help me avoid negative credit reporting? It's more important than ever to make sure your student loans are not at risk. So, like I mentioned earlier, even a single late or missed payment can be damaging to your credit. Make sure to monitor the status of your loans to ensure that they are in good standing. If you have past due, take action immediately to bring your account current and avoid negative credit reporting. We definitely provide tools to prevent and protect your student loans from negative credit outcomes as a part of our Essential and Pro membership. I definitely think it's a perk to join Savvy because we do have the ability to monitor your loans because there is a step on the application where you sync your loans directly from your servicer to us at Savvy. And we're able to monitor your credit in real time to detect for early signs of risk. So that gives us the opportunity to take action before a missed payment turns into a long-term problem. So this includes monitoring the status of your sync loans to help you avoid missed payments, flagging issues before they impact your credit, guiding you into the right repayment plan so your loan is always affordable every month, and then also that one-on-one support from our experts. What do I do if my payment is too high? If your payment is too high, you can use Savvy's personalized repayment estimator to explore other repayment options. Savvy recommends enrolling in an IDR plan to get low and affordable payments and ensure your payments count towards forgiveness, like, for example, public service loan forgiveness or IDR forgiveness. Once you complete the Savvy application and give us all your info, we are able to actually show you the options that you qualify for. Can I still enroll in an IDR right now? Yes. So, kind of touched on this earlier, but Save is still on hold. So anyone in Save is in a current forbearance. But you can definitely switch to a different IDR plan. I definitely think that because am a manager on the customer success team, so I'm constantly talking to borrowers. This is kind of the main thing that has been on the top of borrowers' minds recently. People in the Save plan kind of talking through if they should stay in it and ride out the litigation until September or switch to a different IDR plan and begin making payments again. I definitely think it's a personal choice, but it is nice to talk to borrowers just to figure out where your goals are, to figure out which option is best for you in your current situation. But that is something that you could totally join Savvy and upgrade your membership so you can talk to one of us just so you are comfortable and confident in the decision that you're making for your loans. And yeah, the IDR plans that are available are Pay, IBR, and ICR. And like I said earlier, just expect longer wait times because of all of these policy updates going on. How can I apply for programs through Savvy? So applying for any program is going to be an essential or pro feature. But once you do upgrade, you'll be able to have access to generating forms. So, for example, the employment certification form, which is necessary for public service loan forgiveness. Also, the IDR application, which is necessary to be in an IDR plan and eventually get IDR forgiveness. So, just know that if you do want us to generate your forms and have them filled out on your behalf and submitted to the right servicer, that is gonna be once you upgrade your membership. Can Savi help me with my loans? Yes. So we can definitely help you with your loans. After you after you enter your information, the Savvy application will show you what you qualify for. If you do feel like you need personalized assistance, you can upgrade to Essential or Pro to get that one-on-one support from our team. We help with a bunch of different stuff. So not only the logistical things like generating applications and forms, but we also resolve loan servicer issues. So that could be from, submitting a complaint, helping you reach out to your loan servicer, etc. We answer any and all questions. We have a bunch of webinars happening regularly to inform our users on everything that's going on in the student loan space, um, helping people get out of default or nearing default, etc. No concern is too big or too small. We are just here to help you through anything having to do with your student loans. Final thoughts. We're on your side. We will continue to monitor every aspect of the student loan system and provide you with the most accurate, up-to-date information. This is really important because I feel like every day it seems like something is happening in the student loan world, which directly impacts borrowers. So the fact that we're based in DC and we have the most up-to-date information, we have a great policy team that are constantly researching and compiling accurate information to figure out what will affect borrowers and what won't. We are constantly sending out policy updates via email. And like I said, we are hosting regular webinars to ensure that you guys know exactly what's going on. I know it can be like very confusing and overwhelming with so much information. Sometimes you don't even know what's accurate information and what's kind of like hearsay or plans in the future that, haven't even taken place yet. But with Savvy, you can be confident that the information that we're telling you um, will impact you. We're always advocating for our borrowers, working to ensure you have access to affordable repayment and forgiveness options. And yeah, if you do have, one-on-one questions or you need support, you can always upgrade your plan to talk to someone on our customer success team. Next steps. So you can go ahead and scan this QR code with your phone camera if you have a smartphone to either sign up for Savi if you have not, or sign in to Savi if you already have an account. And if you have not created an account, this is what you'll see. Start typing your employer name here, and it should pop up. If they are not on this list, you can still have access to Savi, but just click this button, start here. Three simple steps. So you're going to start the application, add in all your info so we can crunch the numbers. Our software can crunch the numbers. And then from there, you'll be able to see your options. You can see everything you qualify for. And then you can start submitting and saving. Another great feature of Savi is that we have a student loan document section now. Definitely with everything going on, sometimes federal student aid being down, sometimes servicer servicers being down, we decided to create this on our account, on the website to safely store any and all information that you upload here. It's a nice way that you'll know that you'll always have access to your documents, especially with, everything going on in the student loan space. Now, you can select your Savvy plan. DIY is going to be free. You still receive a lot of stuff with DIY, but just know that the logistical aspects of us, like generating your forms and submitting them on your behalf, or reaching out to your employers to get your PSLF form signed. That is not what you get with DIY, but you still get the live educational workshops. You still have access to your dashboard. So that means you can still figure out what plans you qualify for. You just won't be able to generate them through Savvy and have us submit them. You will have forgiveness eligibility detection and the personalized repayment calculator. So DIY is not a bad deal. I would say definitely essential is our most popular because you do get all of the logistical stuff generated for you, which definitely takes the stress out of applications. You also get the annual enrollment reminders and policy updates, ongoing plan monitoring and management. You do get the one-on-one help from our team. So that's going to be like email, live chat, and then with Pro, it's our highest level. You get everything with Essential, but you do get a personalized onboarding session. Then you get dedicated phone support. So that's definitely why people would choose to upgrade to Pro and pay more is because they like the aspect of having the unlimited phone calls with someone on our customer success team. So I think if you think that you have a complicated situation, or maybe you're just so stressed out by your loans and you just want someone to help you through everything, definitely Pro is going to be your best bet. So we make contacting customer support very easy. We have a contact support button in the bottom left corner of any page on the Savvy website. So we have our help center. The help center is great because we have a bunch of updated articles. Honestly, as of now, it's kind of been on a daily, weekly basis just because a lot of changes are going on. But we definitely make the articles very understandable and digestible for our users. So you can find out a bunch of information there. And then if you also want to talk to a human, you could always send us a message here. And then we also have live chat. So live chat is going to be Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. EST, and you're talking to an actual human. If you are a pro member, you're going to see another button right here, which will allow you to book a phone call. But that is for our pro members. What's next? So here's another QR code to enroll in Essential. You can access your Savvy account, upload all your information, complete it. And if you do need help along the way, you can press contact support. Like I said, you can always send us a message or talk to us on live chat. I really appreciate everyone's time today, and I hope that this webinar was helpful.